Yeah, good morning. Finally, this is my second attempt at recording this podcast. It's just been so busy and then I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I don't know. Anyway, welcome everyone. Hello to the returning viewers. Welcome to the new ones. I'm Daniela. I'm an Italian knitter based in Perth, Western Australia. And I've moved to my winter corner in my house where I normally podcast. Here the light unfortunately comes and goes as we've got a glass roof on our heads. But unfortunately inside where I have been recording for, the spring, summer time is now too dark. So you'll have to bear with me, and I hope that the sky and the clouds don't make it really unpleasant. So a bit of housekeeping to start with. You find me mainly on Instagram as A Knitted Suitcase, and some, unfortunately not all of my projects are on Ravelry as well, where I am DanyUK. Other bits of information will be in the description box below, where you also find timestamps if you want to skip to one or another of the sections of this video, and links to the patterns I'll show you and any kind of information you may want to extract from my chat today. Brilliant. I will use the usual format, so finished objects, works in progress, any news or new acquisitions after that, but I have to tell you, I've got so much to share today. A few finished objects, a beautiful bunch of new yarns that will be prizes for my knit along ongoing. And so, yeah, I'll try and make it as quick as possible, but there's a lot of content coming your way. Brilliant. Grab a project, grab a drink and settle down and let's crack on. Okay, starting with finished objects, a couple of them are actually linked to this event that I'm running at the moment called Veralovekal. It's a knit along for any projects by my friend and talented knitter Vera Marco, who is Vera Loves Knitting. I've spoken of her before, and one of my previous episodes contains a fun interview with her if you're interested in, getting to know her as a person and have an insight on her designing inspiration and style, etc. The knit along started on the 9th of March and is running on Instagram and will carry on until the 9th of June. We also have an in-person group here in Perth that has been meeting already a couple of times and will meet up for the actual conclusion of it on the 8th of June. I need to thank my friend Susan at 1001 Stitches on Instagram for helping me run the in-person knit along here in Perth. It's been great because we've met a lot of new friends and shared a lot of fun moments. But all the people participating can just show a post on Instagram with the hashtag Veralovekal. I'll write it down below so there's no spelling mistakes. And we will soon pick the winners. And we've got 8 prize packages that I'm very excited to show you in a minute. They're not already organized as packages, but I'll show you the yarn that various fantastic dyers and producers have sent to me. And for each of them, there's a bag that I've made. But first of all, I want to show you my 2 finished projects from the collection of designs by Vera Marco. The first one of them, you have seen me knit on it in my previous episode, and it's the gorgeous Excelso Wrap. There it is. So the Excelso Wrap is there's some thread on it, is an all over lace triangular shawl. There you go. That's knitted from one of the tips. Here it is. The design includes tassels as well, but you're free to, of course, add them or not. It starts from this tip, and you work by creating increases only on one side until you've got a considerable number of stitches at the end that create an irregular triangle shape. It's bind off with a beautiful oh my goodness. Anyway, it's a joy to knit. I managed to sort of memorize the repeat quite quickly, and I'll show you with my book on the back so you can really appreciate the beauty of the lace that looks a little bit like leaves, if you want, leaning on one side and then on the other. I really love, I already mentioned that, how the increases play on the side for, to develop the lace pattern. And I loved knitting it in this beautiful yarn, which is the colourway Plum on the Alpha 4-ply base by lovely Amy at Cable Tie Knits here in Perth. She has been supporting the knit along by giving us yarn for the prizes and a discount code for, her yarn for the first few weeks of the knit along. Now, what I really like about this shawl as well, I'll show you now how I can wear it, is the fact that it's completely double-sided, in my opinion. That is, the reverse look just as pretty and as nice as the front, which is not often the case with shawls. I love knitting shawls, but there's always, when you wear them, can be a little bit of a insecurity about how to style them because of this problem of the reverse side showing, not always being super pretty. But I really love this one, and I really love, how the fabric looks also on the reverse if you wanted to turn it around. Of this just happens while you're wearing it, basically. So the yarn is super soft, the shawl is really lovely, and I think these kind of more lightweight and drapey shawls are really great for the weather here in Western Australia, because we don't get that much cold to, make you feel the need for a real comfy and, blanket-like shawl. So that's great. I can give you a few more technical details from my knitting journal. There it is. That's my Excelso Wrap page. This is the label from Amy's yarn. And the yarn, this shawl was knitted in 3 weeks, let's say, from the 9th of March to the 2nd of April. It is a fairly quick knit. As soon as you start remembering the pattern, it goes very relaxingly and very easily. Altogether, it's 175 grams before the tassels, and then it's 14 grams used for the tassels. And the size is 88 centimeters wide and 126 centimeters long. The tassels are made by wrapping yarn 50 times around a 10 centimeter piece of cardboard, and they're a really nice size, especially for a shawl that is quite lightweight, so you don't want them to be extremely chunky and weighed down. So yeah, I really loved knitting it, and I must give my congratulations to both the designers and the dyer for their beautiful, beautiful makes and, design and creations. This second finished object I've got for the Veralovekal knit along is a cowl. That's the page I was showing you later. And because my plan, as I have mentioned in the beginning, was to knit a whole garment. Vera's got beautiful cabled jumpers, and there's another one that's called Nora's Secret Flower that is available as a jumper, as a vest in 2 different gauges that I really like, but life is busy at the moment and I'm finding quite a lot of comfort in knitting smaller projects like accessories, socks, shawls, because they just go on quicker and they give me more satisfaction and less, I feel less pressured doing smaller projects. So everyone's got different times and stages in life, and I think our knitting should always be adjusted to fit what our feelings and our situations are every minute, because we want it to be a moment of joy and mindfulness and not add stress to our life, shouldn't it? So the second finished object I've got is another accessory, and it is the accordion cowl. The accordion cowl is one of Vera's latest, or maybe yes, I think the second but last but second design that she published on her page, and this is the lovely cowl. I think it's one of the best fitting cowl I've ever tried, because it's quite long and it grows in width as you knit. I'll show you now in a minute. So it folds and sits really nicely around the neck. Goodness me, please send me good words, not this mumbling I'm doing. So the shape, as you see, is growing. There are some increases that make it grow from you start at the smallest end and you knit down to the bigger hem, let's say, and that's the way you wear it, so that the smaller part sort of folds up naturally onto the bottom part. This texture is just created with a simple like garter ridge every section, separating the various sections, and some nice eyelet repeats. So it's very simple. It can definitely be a beginner's project. It is a one skein project, which is another thing that many of us need some time, like knitting up that special skein you've got that is not actually at the moment inspiring you to be mixed with other yarns. And it is great as a gift because it is a very, very quick knit. So I cast this on the 16th of April and it was finished by the 25th of April. So that's literally 9 days. And as I've been telling you, I've been busy, so my knitting time every day is not a lot. So yes, absolutely recommended. The joy of knitting this also came for me from the yarn I selected. This is a very special skein from Michelle, Dying to Knit Yarns here in Perth. Is there a little mistake here? Not quite a mistake, but a stitch has, come out a little bit bigger. And of course, I'm showing you just that bit there. Let's turn it around there. No mistakes on this side. And this yarn is a mixed base with superwash merino, silk and yak, 60-20-20. So it's absolutely soft, very drapey, and the yak, as it usually does, gives the color very, you know, interesting and beautiful depth, because the yak is a gray fiber, sort of light gray fiber, so the color really, you know, sticks to it in a different, the dye sticks to it in a different way, creating a beautiful, beautiful deep color. It's the colorway Wild Rose by Dyeing to Knit Yarns again, and I used 96 grams for it. The measurements are the width is 24 centimeters wide at the top and 37 centimeters wide at the bottom. And what I really enjoyed in this knit is that what I really enjoyed in this knit is the fact that the increases that give it this special shape are worked and hidden in the lace repeat, so you don't really have any you know, signs of the increases in the fabric of the pattern. Absolutely in love with it. I have found, I don't normally time myself when I knit, but for some reason I realized that I was actually knitting every section in a length of time between 1 hour for the first section and 1 hour and a half for the bottom section. So just to give you an idea, it's 8 sections. You could really knit it in 12 hours. Just to give you an idea of how quick this knit is. Of course, everyone knits at a different speed, and this is not a race at all, but just to give you an idea, and also to invite you to jump into our knit along, because we still have a month and a few days before the end, and both these projects can be knitted in that time. And there are a few more shawls and cowls and other patterns that you could knit in that period of time. I've actually got here a little collection. Hang on a minute. A little collections of Vera's patterns that she has sent to me to be part of the prizes. So there's this very beautiful margarita beanie that's a DK project, one skein DK project. So this would be a very quick one. Or there's also the cowl that has got this beautiful flower pattern that you can knit in very small period of time. Then we've got her beautiful Semplice shawl that is just a shawl made with knits and pearls, and it creates a beautiful kind of checkered texture. Sorry, I realize the light is being really dark. I hope you'll bear with me for this time. There's her River Flow scarf, which is a wonderful scarf with a beautiful floral design on it. There is the cockle shell fichu, again like a mini shawl with a beautiful repeat, with a beautiful lace repeat, very elegant and very special, and a few others that I'm not. So please just try and jump in again, because there's a lot of prizes, and I'm about to show you some of the beautiful things that have been given to me and I have made for, you know, to go in the prize package. Exciting, and that I am so grateful for, to all the dyers and producers that have sent their yarn, and also to Vera, who has sort of worked to, you know, put together the patterns and some yarn and send it to me from Sydney, where she is. So this is the first beautiful yarn package that Vera sent to me, and it's going to go with her pattern for the river scarf. This is 100% Australian alpaca from Adagio Mills, and it's in the colorway Grey Mist. And I have created a little bag to go with it, which is this fun bag with the parrots. It's got 2 handles and a drawstring, as I normally do. So this will be a beautiful first package with Vera's pattern. We will also add some notions, but I'm not now showing you all the details. So 3 dyers from Perth have also, stepped in to support the knit along. So I've got this beautiful speckled skein from Michelle at DanyUK Yarns, and this is the colorway burnished steel in a fingering weight single 100% superwash merino. So soft. This will be beautiful for a one skein shawl or for a cowl like the Accordion. And being inspired by the colors in this yarn, I have created this fun little bag with the, beige and brown colors and a little bit of blue. Some of the speckles in here are blue too. This is just a sock or one skein bag with a fun stripy lining. So this is another great package. Then we've got the yarn that dear Amy at Cable Tie Knits give us, which is the most fun and joyous little package of minis. Here it is. It's a sock mini set, and it's her Alpha 4-ply base in its 5 per 20 grams minis. Look at these happy and pretty colors, and they'll go together with this little bag of mine. Again, another sock bag. I think the colors really sort of inspired me here. Fun green and a little bit of purple inside. That's another beautiful package. And then I've got this joyous and glorious yarn that was donated. Look at the colors in these various greens. This is the Soursop Merino Silk Yak. So 60% merino, 20 silk and 20 yak by WA Styles yarn. I hope you managed to see the variation of colors in these variegated. It's absolutely stunning. Together with some notions that Sandra sent us. So massive thank you to her for this prize as well. Beautiful. And the bag that will go with this is still it's been cut but not sewn yet. So you'll see it very soon on some photographs online, on my Instagram account mainly. Then I have got another beautiful package, which is this fabulous DK skein that again Vera sent me, and we need to thank Great Southern Yarn for this. It's just one of my favorite colors. It's sort of a teal, and it's the colorway Vida Goldstein. This is Australian merino non-mulesed, and it's an 8-ply DK. This would be ideal for one of her margarita patterns, like the cowl or the beanie, and that will one of those will definitely come in the package with this yarn. And also this fun bag that I have sewn. There we go. I absolutely adore this pattern with all the feathers, and this one too has got a fun stripy lining. There we go. So these are all the yarn that is in my hands at the minute, but there are more coming because amazing Karen of the Knitting Man Recommends yarn indie dyer sort of brand is sending us a beautiful skein of her hand painted or hand dyed yarn. I'll add a photograph here. And this bag, this fun and fanciful bag will come together with it. It's got these little stripes inside and this sort of crazy tea time bag will come with it. And then we've got another bag ready. There we go, to be mixed, to be paired with a beautiful skein that actually my friend Susan, that I've mentioned to you, 8001 Stitches on Instagram, will be dyeing herself. She'll provide very kindly 2 skeins of yarn. One is actually on the Great Southern Yarn base, and the other one is on a base of her choice. And this will be one of the bags that goes with them, with one of the skeins. The other one is again just already cut, but still on the sewing table. There will be notions added to it. There will be a pattern by Vera per each package. So it's 8 prizes. It's a lot. And I really hope that this video will encourage some of you to step in, because as I said, it's a whole month to go, and that means a lot can be still, knitted up for before the end of the class. Now, carrying on with the finished objects, I have to show you these ones. These are my just new pair of socks. For some reason, I feel like I have inspired by the community again to pick up my sock knitting again. I have this love-hate relationship with knitting socks. I've made a few in the past and my daughter loves them. For example, I've got a pair that I quite like, especially for bed, as bed socks. I've gifted some, as I said, but now it had been quite a while since I had picked up my sock needles and cast on a pair. But I've seen a lot of beautiful ones online, and I have heard of a knit along by my friend Ali at Fiberbound going on. This is the hashtag down here. It's going on for the whole year, and it invites you to use your sock yarn. And I had this super fun self-striping yarn that I got at Bendigo last year from Half Baked Hand Dyed that I have been wanting to use. And another thing that's inspired me, I have started watching Summer Lee's podcast. You may know Summer Lee. She's an American designer who does the most exciting, fun, joyful socks. She's really amazing at picking vibrant, happy colors and choosing the right colors for the right patterns. And she's released a book recently that a few of my knitting friends have got, and that, I think no one who sees that book can resist knitting a few socks, really. So that's what all this inspiration has brought me to make. And then I knitted a tube and did an afterthought heel with a contrasting color, this sort of gray that I had in my jar of little leftovers. And that always gives me a lot of satisfaction when I can, pick a little bit of a nugget of yarn that's left over and reuse it in something where it really shines. I think in this case it does. It's a beautiful color combination for these socks. And then it's my usual, what shall we call, wedge toe construction. That is, I just decrease on the 2 sides and Kitchener stitch it at the top. I'm quite pleased with how my Kitchener stitches have turned out. So these are really, really fun, really quick, I must say, and brought me a lot of joy. I've got a page for them. There we go. This is my stripy sock. This is the label from Half Baked Hand Dyed, my self-striping yarn that Dani at this yarn brand dyed. That's a little schematic of how I constructed number of rows, number of stitches for the cuff and the heel. And this is a reminder to me to enter them to the knit along that Ali is running, and also the dates. So I started them on the 6th of April and completed them on the 27th of April. So that means that it's, how long? 3 weeks, but they didn't really take 3 weeks. It's just that I was, of course, running other things in the meantime. But then this test knit was launched and I couldn't resist, because again, it's in the sock knitting sort of field. And the lady who has designed these socks is an absolute treasure. You may be following her on Instagram. If not, please do. It's Kath from the Mindful Melbourne Maker. And she is a great knitter, very fast. She's got loads of beautiful projects always going on, and she shares them on Instagram. And now she has recently started not only designing, this is her second pattern, but sharing her designs and makes in a podcast. So please, here is the link, the name of the podcast, and the link will be below in the description box. Go and see her, follow her, subscribe. You'll have so much joy from her podcast, I promise. She really is a natural at it. So she launched probably a month ago a new pattern for free. It's more than a pattern because it's a little bit like a handbook on how to knit fingering weight socks, her so-called Melbourne socks. In brackets, that pattern has been tech edited by my friend Diane of the Perfect Pairing podcast. So if there's any new designer out there or established designers who are looking for a tech editor, please go and talk to Diane, because she's really very quickly establishing her as a great tech editor for, lots of different sorts of patterns. So Kath released this guide for a fingering weight sock that is rich with a lot of sort of variations. So she tells you how you could do different heel sort of constructions and toe constructions and texture on the sock. And now she's designed the same sort of very complete guide for DK socks. And as I have never really knitted a pair of DK socks, I decided to jump in and knit my own version of her Canberra socks, which she tells you how to knit in 3 different versions. Yarn, options. So it can be a DK yarn, it can be a fingering weight yarn knitted, held double, or it can be a fingering weight held with a strand of mohair. And that's what I did, because these are meant to be bed socks for my daughter. So I really wanted them to be nice and squishy. And they absolutely are squishy and cozy, so beautifully warm and cozy indeed. I have chosen a like all over ribbing, because I really love ribbed socks. I find they always fit beautifully, and especially for wearing in bed, when you can move your feet and you could risk of taking off your socks. They are a great fit. And then I've done a heel flap and gusset construction with the French version of the gusset. I wasn't even aware there were 2 different sort of gusset options, heel turn options or styles, the French and the Dutch. Thanks, Kath, for teaching me that. While the flap, in my case, is just, no Phoenix. Need to steer the puppy away from my yarn. And the heel flap, in my case, I just did a stockinette stitch one, while she gives you a few options to do a slip stitch, to do a heel eye of partridge. I think that's the name, but I'm not doing great with words today, so bear with me if it's not wrong, not right. A few options of heel flaps, and then I've carried on the foot with, again, the ribbing on the top of the foot and the just stockinette on the sole. And then I've done again my sort of wedge heel. Some people do their decreases so to obtain like a round shaped toe bit. But both my daughter and I have got very sort of skinny feet. So I think for us, the wedge is just ideal. And what I've done to make them more fun, because you know me, if I can change something and, make it more fun, more colorful, I'll do that. I have swapped the mohair strand that was a pink in most of the sock with a blue one, like a bright kind of cobalt blue, to obtain this little bit of a different toe. And I love them, and my daughter really loves them. They are super comfy, super squishy, and I'm telling you, they're so quick to make. Now I'm on the second sock. I've taken a little bit of a break. And the yarns I'm using, I can tell you, are particularly dear to my heart, especially one. So this is the page I've created. I was so excited, I did want to play with my page a little bit. So Canberra Socks by Kath at Mindful Melbourne Maker. And the test knit would want us to complete one sock by the 22nd of May. So I should definitely, be right with the deadline, because I've got one sock already. But I literally knitted that in 2 days, only because, again, I don't have that much knitting time, but it can be easily done. Other ladies in the test panel have knitted one sock in 1 day, because it really is quick. And the yarn I'm using is this fun hand-dyed yarn that I got as a gift from my friend Kelly at Kel Knits, probably 2 or 3 years ago now, maybe 3 years ago, when she was still living in Germany and I was living in the United Kingdom. We decided to do a swap, and she gave me this yarn, which is hand-dyed in Germany. So the brand is Wool Shop Wilms Hand Dyed. It's a sock yarn, 100 gram for 416 meters, 50% superwash virgin wool, 25% cotton, 25% polyamide, and it's pink, white, blue, purple, really fun yarn. And what I've done, I've paired it with Drops Kid Silk Mohair in colorway pink for most of the sock, and with this little spool of Katia Concept Mohair, colorway 33 that I got as a present, and I've used in a few projects already, in my painting bricks show and here, and there will be enough for it to make appearance on some other projects in the future. But that's not everything, because I have felt a little bit like undergoing a period of intense castonitis, so I had to cast on all the things. And what did I cast on? In this new bag that I've made for myself, I was inspired by this very fun iron-on, let's say, fabrics embellishment that I found at Kmart. I made myself in this, it's like a recycled denim fabric, a fun bag with two handles and this heart print on the sort of drawstring bit, and some purple like checks inside. So I've got the beginning of a traveler cowl by Andrea Mowry. Now, I was so happy to receive the visit of a dear friend, Lynn, from Albany, a few, probably 2 weeks ago now. And as she visited Europe recently, she brought me these gigantic and beautiful ball of yarn in all my favorite sort of tones of color. So it's pink, it's purple, there's a hint of blue on some strands, there's a little of brown as well, and it's so super soft, just the right size to go in my in my new bag. And I really wanted to, you know, knit this up in something warm and cozy that could really highlight and show, I hope you can see it, the various colors and the variation in this yarn. So this is my project. I started it kind of straight away when she brought me the yarn because I was very excited, but now it's having a little bit of a rest because I've got a few other things ongoing that I'll show you more in a minute. But I created, of course, a page for it in my diary because it's something I really want to cherish and treasure. So it's the Traveler's Cowl by Andrea Mowry, or Dreven and Knits Design. And this is the, you know, bits of the label of the yarn. This is Rosario's 4, a brand from Portugal. So we really are in an international, sort of an international episode here for you. The brand is called Invicta, and it's 51% virgin wool, 49% acrylic. And that massive squishy big ball that you've seen is 150 grams, which comes up to 520 meters. So these will be exactly the right meterage, with a few meters to spare for the Andrea Mowry cowl. I've got a grey jacket for winter, so I think these will look absolutely fabulous on that jacket, and I really love these colors. Unfortunately, the light is not doing them justice, but it's really fun and it's ever so soft. So thanks so much, Lynn, for your fantastic gift, and I am, you know, treasuring this project in this fun project bag. I also made pockets for it, which is not something I do all the time, but in this case I wanted to have pockets inside as well. So this is a very special bag, and the content is even more special for me. Talking quickly about my bags, some of you may know I've got an Etsy shop. At the moment, the Etsy shop is a little bit on a rest or on a break because, again, my life is very full, especially since we got Phoenix, puppy. But I'm definitely meaning to go back to it very soon. I've enjoyed so much sewing up these bags for the knit along prizes, and most of all, you know, finding and matching the fabrics. That's what gives me the most joy. And I am planning to sew more for the shop, and I have in mind a few different sort of styles and a few ideas that I would really like to sort of put together and experiment. One of them that's really taking up most of my time at the moment is a new cast on that I have meant to start for ages, or better. I had meant to use this yarn for a long time because this is another one of my purchases at Bendigo Sheep and Wool Festival last year. And the beautiful yarn is Alpaca Allure from fibernaturally.com.au. That's their website, but you can hear much more about them if you go over to the Perfect Pairings podcast channel, where my friend Gayan interviewed them and went on a tour to their farm in one of her first episodes. I'll try and link it down here. So they are amazing makers. This yarn that I got from Fiber Naturally is a beautiful yarn. Unfortunately, I haven't got a full skein here now. And it's alpaca with specks of recycled sari silk in it. So the specks in this case, the base is like a oatmeal color, and the specks are all the colors of the rainbow in it. This yarn is absolutely the softest thing. It's absolutely fun because of all these like bits of silk in it, and I really I loved it at first sight when I saw it at Bendigo, and I really wanted to turn it in something that I would wear and cherish a lot. But I didn't want anything too sort of complicated in terms of fabric, too textural, because I think the yarn is really beautiful as it is. I was a little bit in trouble because I got only 4 skeins, which was actually not enough for a garment for me, for a sweater for me. So I went on looking and studying and looking up, Ravelry for quite a bit. I shortlisted a few patterns, and then in the end I decided for the Cocoon Chokki vest. Here is a photograph by Noriko Ichikawa, who is a Japanese designer. And I really adore the boxy fit of this vest. I really love the fact that it looks like a very contemporary shape. And I think in the weather here in Perth, where it rarely gets really, really cold, it'll be a fantastic layering piece for me to wear with shirts or with like a long-sleeved sort of tee. And I think I will adore wearing it. Now I'm quite far into it opening, and I've now joined in the round after creating this beautiful detail. Oh no, this is not right. There's a little bit of yarn that doesn't allow you to see very well. Maybe it's easier on this side. The armhole sort of ribbing is a faux ribbing because it's just created while you knit the body with sort of little segments of garter, reverse stockinette and stockinette, and it has got a slip stitch sort of finish that is not at the moment looking particularly neat on mine, because unfortunately I'm a really loose knitter, but I trust that with blocking will improve. And then you join them, the 2 pieces together, with this sort of very nice little bit of gusset that is created with short rows. It'll probably look better when it's blocked and I can show you, it's completed. And I mean, look at all the specks of color. Again, the light is not doing it great justice today, but the specks of colors in the fabric are absolutely fun. My stockinette is not the neatest either because, I don't often knit flat. I'm much better when knitting in the round. But again, I think once it's blocked, it will definitely look all right. There's some rowing out, quite evident here. It's okay. I think it'll sort itself. There's quite a bit of shaping in the shoulders in this pattern to obtain this sort of, quite steep inclination in the shoulder construction. but that was okay. That was okay to make, and I think it will look better again when it's blocked. And the neck opening is quite wide because the neck ribbing should be really wide around here, so should bring it all together, should bring it all in together. I hope, because you know the trouble with alpaca is very soft and it can stretch quite a bit. So I think that the choice of adding the neckband later is a good one to help the neck have some structure over here. But I was thinking that I may decide to use some tricks to make this bit a little bit more resistant in terms of stretch. A trick could be adding, just for the round where I pick up stitches, a strand of a mohair polyamide blend that I've got in exactly this colorway, like oat colorway. And I think that will not appear in, you know, as an addition to the yarn combination at all, because it's the same color, but will probably help give it a little bit more structure. Because being a drop shoulder construction, it will definitely sort of fall off my shoulders, and I'm worried it may all be a little bit heavy on the ribbed neckline to hold. Another thing I should mention is the fact that I did not get gauge. Look at that, I never do. I did not get gauge because the gauge for this garment is 18 stitches per 10 centimeters, and I got 20 on 3.75 millimeters, which gives me the fabric I like, rather than the 4 millimeters that's prescribed in the pattern. But again, I'm a loose knitter, so it all makes sense. The trouble is, it is no trouble really. The solution I got was, knitting this one size up, rather than the second size, I'm knitting the third size, which basically should give me the measurements for the size 2 with a smaller gauge that I've got. I'm pretty happy with how things are going so far. I will try probably and add a little bit of recording of the fabric in a better light, so you can see the beauty of this yarn that really deserves to shine. And I can't wait to complete this one. Now, I don't think it'll be long now, because it's literally just knitting in the round. It's a quite cropped garment. I've still got 2 skeins. I knitted these all up in nearly 2 skeins, and I've still got 2 skeins, which I'm sure will be plenty for the rest of the body and for the neck ribbing. I wonder whether I'll end up using doing the ribbing as big as the pattern requires, or sort of suggests. That's something I'll see while going, but I'm definitely going to knit on this one as much as possible, because I want to complete it ASAP. It's going back in its knitting bag, which is one of my own, one of the first few ones I made, and I really love this combination of smaller and bigger print in the same colors. I love this little print here a lot, because it's dark and moody, but it's got these little pops of like lime green that is amazing. Really love it. And I've got a page on my journal. There it is, 2 pages actually, because I really was really enthusiastic about this pattern. So I've got here a little bit of a story about how I got the yarn and wear, as it's special and reminds me of a fantastic time I had in Melbourne. This is the label, Alpaca Allure, as you see, by Fiber Naturally. That's the label from another page. And this is the little schematic, the first few informations I've entered. I'll enter many more as I carry on with the project. Very good. Last but work in progress, but not least, is my Cecil shawl. That is, well, it was sort of a private knit along that I have started with my friend Gayan, that I've mentioned already from the Perfect Pairings podcast. You have seen it previously on this podcast because I have been working on it for quite a long time. So I'll just quickly flash it. And if you want to know more, you can go to see my previous episode. And Gayan's been a very good and sort of consistent knitter. She has started this routine where she was knitting on it 30 minutes every morning with her coffee. I'm not like that. I'm everything but consistent, perfectionist, structured, predictable, nothing of that. Probably I'm quite a bit like that in my life, but I'm not when it comes with knitting. When it comes with knitting, I'm absolutely spontaneous, joyous. I go where inspiration strikes, and yeah, and at the moment I was really drawn to those projects. I've knitted those, and this one is not forgotten. I can't wait to finish it, and I'll just show you the progress I've done. So it's a much bigger shawl than I expected it to be, but it's really, really fun. I absolutely adore my color combination. The main yarn is the sheepiest thing you can imagine. It's got that delicious smell that I absolutely love. This is as I said the other time, it starts at the tip and then it's increased to create, the central panel, which is like a little bit of a rectangle, and then the decreases are starting to go back to the other tip. And I'm loving it, and I can't wait to carry on and finish it, and it will be fun to have a matchy thing with my friend Gayan, and hopefully one day we'll manage to take a photograph together and show it together, model them together. This shawl will be hopefully finished in time to enter two knit-alongs that are going on. One of them was announced, is run. Let's try and find the right words. Is run by Ruth of the Ruth Loves to Knit podcast, and it's the T and where is it? Where is the page? Where's the page? Here it is. And it's the TNP Year 24 knit along. It's a knit along that Ruth is running for the whole year for any project by Joanna Herriott, who is one of the ladies behind the Twinset and Pearl podcasts. You can follow them. They're really pleasant to listen to, and they have beautiful designs. I have seen recently a pair of socks, as I'm becoming a sock knitter now, by them, that's really attractive because it's got a bit of a different ribbing, a tall ribbing band with some lace in it, a really nice pattern in the lace. And so I really like that. I may one day make it. And they have also a lot of other beautiful shawl patterns. I've got another one actually on the needles, but I don't know. That may not become a finished object one day. I'll be able to tell you soon. And they also have a knit along running for their own patterns, which is the, I think, Knit the Family Cowl, because they name all of those, most of their shawls after their family members. So this is the Cecil shawl, the other one I've got is the Simon shawl, and there are quite a few on their website with different family people names. And yeah, so this is probably the shawl I will concentrate my effort on when I've finished the vest and when I've finished the sock, the DK sock. And then, yeah, have I got other things in mind? Oh my, I've got a lot of things in mind. Some I've mentioned in my previous podcasts. I've got something new, a little yarn acquisition that I haven't got here today, but I'll show you next time if I manage to cast that on. And I would like that to become a cardigan. And yeah, I've got a beautiful green alpaca blend, bright green, that I would really like to knit into the Career Bears next release, which is a lace cardigan. I seem to be attracted to lace for some reason at the moment, and I think that would be really nice for the Australian weather, well, for the Perth weather, to give me a little bit of warmth but not too much, considering that it's not really cold here. So yeah, I'm so excited about all these things. I'm dying to cast on another shawl for myself. I would like to start a 50/50 triangle wrap. Oh, I've got so many things in mind. But yeah, I think I'll cut it here, because who knows which of them will actually be turned into current projects. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you. I hope you enjoyed our chat as well. I am ever so grateful for each and every one of you watching, commenting, chatting to me here on Instagram, and joining in my Cowl. Please consider it if you haven't done it yet. There's also a Ravelry group that's run by Vera on Vera Loves Knitting Ravelry page, where some ladies who are not on Instagram have shared their projects. If you're not on Ravelry, don't want to use Ravelry, don't have Instagram, don't worry, you can just email me a photograph of your finished objects, and that will be also able to enter the knit along, as we want to make it as comprehensive as possible, as inclusive as possible, and just spread to as many people as possible the joy of our knitting and the joy of supporting this incredible, still small Australian designer that really deserves to be on the limelight, because it is really amazing. I'm leaving you again with a lot of gratitude in my heart for your company and for the makers, amazing makers who have provided yarn for our prizes for the knit along. And please spread the word about the knit along, about this podcast, spread the word about the joy of knitting and the amazing connections that we managed to make online through them and in person. And hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.